Hi, my name is Sherry Wall, and I'm here to inform my audience about what makes me unique by examining my decision to go back to school, change my career, and pursue a profession in the mental health industry. Have you ever ran into someone you haven't seen in a while and they asked you specifically something about your life that you didn't think they would remember? The human mind is one of the most complex and intricate organisms on Earth, and we can't possibly begin to think that we've even scratched the surface of trying to understand it. Since I've been old enough to work, I've always pursued a career in the hospitality industry because I love people. When I turned 30, I began to feel this magnetism kind of pull me into going back to school to pursue a good degree in psychology because I began to enjoy understanding people and solving problems. First, I'd like to speak to you about why I made this decision and why the mental health industry is in desperate need of future employees. As the emotional IQ of the United States increases, so does the demand for professionals who specialize in this field. America has become a giant melting pot of different cultures, ideas, passions, and experiences. Awareness has grown astronomically to different gender, sexual, and mental orientation. Acceptance has also grown immensely to go see a therapist. It's no longer a head doctor or a shrink, kind of the way Tony Soprano would have put it. Now that we've talked about my main point, I'd like to move on to my second, which is why I feel that I'm especially unique and qualified in this field. As I've stated, I've worked in the hospitality industry for the last 20 years, which has given me the opportunity to work with, observe, train, and lead hundreds of amazing individuals. I gotta say, I've been the student more than the teacher. During this time, I've worked as a restaurant manager for most of the last 12 years. Management training has taught me that good leaders illuminate the way for their employees, which in order to do, you must have a versatile understanding of how to communicate with a lot of different types of people. I've learned that the 80-20 rule works best, as 80% of the job is the people and how they feel, and only 20% is the skill set involved. My HR manager, Sarah Geringer, liked to say when we hold our training classes, Sherry missed a career in either human resources or psychology. I enjoy working with my team members not only to help them achieve the next step in their career, but also to make them feel engaged and connected. I mean, we spend more time at work than we do at home with our families. I feel very passionate about growing this career because I've also learned how to solve problems and please an upset guest, and responding diligently to some pretty urgent situations. Amending a situation with an upset guest or solving an intricate problem takes a lot of patience, listening, and understanding of where the other individual is coming from. I've always been an avid problem solver, and I like a challenge. I find it very natural to hear a problem and to begin organizing facts in my mind and possible solutions. As a therapist, I will evaluate my patients and develop a treatment plan based on objectively determining the patterns that they should be most aware of and how those patterns could be counterintuitive to what their ultimate goals are. Isn't that what progressive discipline is? Dealing with irate guests in my current industry has also taught me the art of service recovery and understanding what ultimately motivates people in different types of scenarios. I'm just simply passionate about helping people. I love helping people. In order to lead or help someone, they must trust you, which means you need credibility. I have a relatable past. I've struggled with obesity and anxiety, and I've learned how to develop coping mechanisms that don't cause me to rely on food, alcohol, or trying to mentally obsess over every situation. With experience comes not only credibility, but depth and relatability. With credibility and relatability, I've been able to build long-lasting, trusting relationships with my team members at work, my family, and my friends. In closing, I've discussed 3 main points today about what makes me feel drawn and qualified to go into the mental health industry. The emotional IQ of America is growing tremendously with increased sensitivity and awareness to a remarkably diverse population. I feel as though I'm qualified to study this field because of my experience working in the hospitality industry. Specifically, leading, training, problem solving, and listening are some of the skills I've developed as a restaurant manager. My personal experience speaks volumes about my interest in relating to people. I've struggled with quite a few things that have given me experience, credibility, and relatability. To me, there's no better feeling than listening to a person talk about something that's bothering them. People are surprised when you follow up with them days or weeks later to see how they're doing and repeat some of the things that they have specifically said and follow up on each topic. This practice builds trust, which will drive someone to not necessarily want to take advice, but to maybe look at their situation from the outside looking in, to essentially get the juices flowing in their brain. There is no better feeling than when someone says, "Why didn't I think of that?" or "Thank you so much for helping me." Famous psychologist Abraham Maslow once said, "If the only tool you have is a hammer, you tend to see every problem as a nail." Well, I feel as though what makes me most unique is I have not only a hammer, but heart-shaped tools in my toolbox.